Alrighty guys, welcome back to Schaefer IT Solutions. Today we're going to be teaching you guys how to work in Hyper-VM. So this will allow you to make virtual machines on your system. Just keep in mind that you will have to pay for the license for your Windows activation on some of your server implementations. If you're doing Linux, that's free, but there are some that have some restrictions there. So just keep that in mind, and we'll get straight into it here. So, first thing we have to do to make sure that this works okay is we will open up our features. So if you just press your Windows key or click the little Windows icon there in Windows 11, type in features. This also works in Windows 10. What we'll do is go to turn Windows features on or off. You'll get all of these options here. You can get some Active Directory stuff, containers, all this different stuff in here. You might have a couple more options depending on if you have Pro, Server, whatever. But what you'll do is you'll enable Hyper-V. If this is grayed out, it will tell you why. 9 times out of 10, you have to enable Hyper-V in your BIOS, and then this will allow you to check it, right? So I have everything checked here. Everything from hypervisor services, we've got Hyper-V GUI, module for Windows PowerShell. Kind of just gives me all the options there, right? Hit OK, we'll close out of there. If you didn't have it enabled, you will have to restart. It should prompt you for a restart, but if it doesn't, keep that in mind. And then going forward here, you can just type in Hyper-V Manager, and it will run. And it will bring you to this screen, which is very bright. So we're going to shrink that down for my end here. I have a couple different Ubuntu virtual machines working right now, running off of my main rig here. So what we're going to do here is do a quick create. We'll bring up this menu here. What you will do on this menu is you'll select what you want to do. So it has Ubuntu and Windows 11 and Windows 10 all installed here. For me, I'm going to use the Windows 11 dev environment just because that's what I've installed. If you want to install anything else here, all you have to do is download the ISO. So, for example, if we open up a new window here, drag her over, and we'll type in, let's do like a 2018 server ISO, right? 2018 server ISO. Bring it to this Microsoft site. I will pin this in the post comments here, but it gives you the option to download everything here. It does give you some Hyper-V server tutorials here too if you want to do a little bit more there. Otherwise, you can just kind of go through here. You can get started 2022, 2019, 2016, 2012. Some people like to do different versions based on compatibility with whatever you're trying to run your server on. So next thing we'll do here is we're just going to hit create virtual machine. You can go into more options here and name it and set your default switch. You can set up virtual switches in here. So if you want to have your VM running on a separate IP and all that other stuff so that it's not open on your IP addresses there and locks down your network a little bit, you can do that. For the purposes of this, I'm just going to hit create virtual machine since I'm already running in a VM anyways. So I'm running Hyper-V within Hyper-V, if that makes sense. So I'm already in a VM. It's going to download the image here. This will take some time, so we'll pop back when this is ready to go. Alright, so once you complete that download, it will go to this verifying image page. So what you will do from here is kind of wait for this to complete, kind of hang out here for a second. And you can create multiple different instances in your Hyper-V Manager as well. So let's say you want to completely segregate everything. You can create one based off of your computer name. You can completely remove this and rename it something else. You can do whatever you want. So if you want to run like a Plex server, a Windows 11 based server for whatever you want to do, whether it's IIS server, whatever you want to do, you can do a lot of different things. It's going to go through a couple different phases here. So you'll see it's extracting the disk from the image archive now. So basically it's just taking all of that ISO data and unpacking it for you so that it brings you basically straight to the Windows setup, and it's going to act like it's just setting up a brand new computer. So we'll wait till it gets to that point. But like I said, you can kind of do whatever you want here. So I've been messing around with Linux a little bit. I've got a Windows 11 dev environment, as you can see here. I believe it activates for 60 days, and then it prompts you for a key, depending on what version of Windows you have. If you have like an enterprise version of Windows, you may just get these for free. It really depends on your account setup. So consult your Microsoft account if you are unsure. This will also take a minute here, so I will stop the recording again and let this thing hang out. So we'll catch you guys in a few. Alright guys, so we are back. It just populates straight to this screen as soon as it's done unpacking everything. So now you can just connect to your dev environment here. We'll let it load up. It loaded on the side of my screen for some reason. It says that it is turned off. This is not something to worry about. It'll tell you this right off the bat every single time. Just because your server's not running yet, right? So you have to turn it on, just like you would turn on your normal computer. You just have a start button here. I know your car might not have a push to start, but this one does. So, failed to start, could not be started because the hypervisor is not running. So, troubleshoot that. What we'll do, close out of here, pop over here, and then, let's see here. We'll actually just refresh. We'll hit connect again. We'll see what happens here. Let's start again. You want to revert to the previous automatic checkpoint because it discovered an error. We'll hit continue and see what it does. Interesting. Cannot be started because hypervisor is not running. Let's take a peek at the error here. We can troubleshoot this live, right? Verify the processor of the physical computer has supported version of hardware assisted virtualization. So I might actually just need an update, which is pretty high possibility. So what we'll do, we're going to actually back out of here. And if you guys get this error, it's got everything on the disk okay. So you guys will get to see my troubleshooting process here, which is kind of cool. So everything's showing. It says that it's not clustered because we haven't designated space for it just yet. We might just go through the resetup process here. That might be our quickest thing, but let's try a couple things first here. I'm gonna refresh, and then let's see here. Check out the settings. Boot from hard drive. Everything's good there. It's got some RAM. So this is a good option too. When you're setting up your server before you actually start it, you can go in here and assign its resources. So you can determine how much of its memory is buffered. You can how much RAM based off of what's in your system. Kind of does whatever it wants there, and then it will go based off of your processors in your machine. I have an 8-core, 16-thread processor, so I can go all the way up to 16 if I want. See what happens here. So, one network adapter. We can create a separate one here. Always start this automatically. Let's hit apply there and see what it does. It may be because I was messing with some things in the background here. Let's do start. And we'll just revert. Yep, so it's having some issues. So what we're going to do to resolve this, actually, is we're just going to delete. And then now we're going to check some processes here. So what we will do, open up Task Manager. You'll get to here. You'll have a bunch of different things showing here. I'm just going to full screen it for ease of use here. So let's see, we'll go to services, and then we are going to look for hypervisor. HV host, it's stopped. So let's start that service. Take a second to boot here. Interesting, okay. See if anything's blocking it. I do have a couple games on this VM as well, so it may be blocking it due to the anti-cheat on those. Let's see, Easy Anti-Cheat is stopped. Easy Anti-Cheat Epic is stopped. Interesting, okay. I just hit Control F to get the search bar up here, and then I'm going to actually type in Hyper-V. Everything is stopped. So we're going to select all of these. You can select all of these here by either hitting Control A, or you can click the top one, shift all the way down to the bottom. We can actually just Control A for all of these. And we'll hit start. And it is stopping. So I think that means we just need to restart the system. We'll check for updates here. So this is something that we went through in the last video of just optimizing your system. Let's check in for some updates here. We'll see what happens. Give it a second. And we are on the latest updates as well. So yeah, we're getting all of these. Okay. So we're getting cumulative update, we're getting security updates, lots of different things here. So this will fix that issue once we install all these. I am running a little bit low on time tonight, so we will save actually deploying a VM for the next video here. We're going to let all of these install. We're going to download and install. This is just a generally good thing to do once a week, so it's been about a week since I've done this, since I did it for the last video, and now we're just going to let them all install. So we'll let those run for a little bit. And then a restart should resolve that issue. If it's not, what you can do is run the file troubleshooter, or what you can do is run that SFC scan that we did last week. So, kind of jumping off of last week, we'll open up our CMD. We'll do SFC/scan now. Need to run it in administrator mode. Got to take my own advice here. Run as admin. My screen may flash here for a second. There we go. We'll do SFC space scan now. System file check /scan now. We'll check for any issues. It may find a couple. And it'll load here, and it will go through the same process we went through that in the optimization guide. So if you guys haven't seen that, go check out that post here on Patreon. If you guys are on YouTube, it should be out the week before this video, so check last week's video. And we will see what it does here. So I'm going to let this run. It's going to take a couple minutes. Other than that, I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this gave you a little bit of a taste into Hyper-V. I don't want to make the video too long here. But that is how you deploy a server. And then you can kind of go from there. And you can migrate that to an on-prem server as well. So instead of it being a VM, you can migrate it to a physical box. If you have an extra computer laying around, you can take something like a Microsoft Surface, such as one of these guys. This can be a server if you want. Keep it powered, turn it on, there's a server. You just have to migrate it to that hard drive and run through the normal Windows setup as you normally would. If you're watching these videos, I would assume that you know how to install Windows, but we'll cover it in the next video when we're setting up the VM anyways. So either way, you guys will be covered. Just hang out for a week. Hopefully you guys like the other content, and if you guys aren't subbed on Patreon, go check it out. Link is in the description. We'll be doing a live stream this Thursday, the 15th, starting at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will link the Twitch channel in the description as well, and we can kind of go from there. I'll be doing a Q&A. I'll be doing just some kind of general tips, just kind of hanging out, meeting people. And then afterwards, I'll probably be gaming on a personal Twitch channel there as well. If you guys want to check that out, I can link that as well. Just shoot me a message either on YouTube, Patreon, whatever, and I can link you that stream. So it actually didn't find any integrity violations here, so it's not a system file issue. More than likely, it has something to do with your system not being up to date. So we'll kind of go through here. We'll restart everything, make sure it's working. If not, what I like to do is disable Hyper-V in that features menu. So if we go back to features, it'll freak out here for a second because we've got 10,000 windows open. And then once all these settings come up, we just disable Hyper-V, restart, re-enable Hyper-V, start back up, and it should kick all the processes that it needs off. I have this thing pretty optimized as far as like a gaming box and a recording box. So that's probably why we're running into some issues. Might be some updates, it could be a whole host of things. So worst comes to worst, I'll start a new VM and record it from there. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Sorry if it's a little bit longer, but enjoy, guys. Catch you later.